Sam!
Hey!
How are you?
Did you miss me? Did you cry every day?
I cried for the last 36 hours. I had dreams of dogs and the most hilarious laughter. There were snacks.
There was champagne.
There was you, which is basically, someone should write a book called Then There Was You, and it's all about you. Bake Club!
Bake Club!
Meet the incredible Sam Four. If you don't already know her, she is an amazing human that we're going to learn so much from today on so many different levels. For those that are lucky enough to be traveling through Lexington, Kentucky, or live in Lexington, Kentucky, they get to eat Sam's incredible snacks, which is how she likes to categorize her food, which is like reason number 217. I adore this woman. She lives in Lexington. She has a family of at least one human and 4 dogs. Things that bond us together, that we care more about people's dogs than most other humans. It's not because we're mean. We just love dogs. What else can I say about you? Probably nothing else that isn't more powerful coming from you. We are so excited to be in the kitchen with you and ask you 101 questions about life and your brilliance and what makes you tick, and to just be inspired by all the things that are
Like a Christina Tosi like motivational calendar every morning, because this is amazing.
Well, I know that like right this second, Tuk your snack pop-up is it is not exactly what it is, because you are spending so much of your time as director of tech for the Lee Foundation and Bake Club. Those of you that know Edward Lee, the incredible chef that is based down south in Lexington, Kentucky, has an incredible foundation. The Lee Initiative. I don't know why I call it a foundation.
He's in Louisville, but we operated like 19 kitchens across the country at the beginning of COVID, when everything shut down. And now we're funding farms so that we can basically offset the food costs to restaurants so that they have a better way to reboot. But it is probably one of the most rewarding jobs I've ever had, because instead of being like stressed and worried about, oh gosh, what am I going to do? I was like, all right, cool. I have something to do. I can worry later. I'm one of those who just like works too much, I guess.
Yeah, I get it, right? It's like when things in life become uncertain, also, can we just all like acknowledge that we're not really in control of anything except for how we show up in the world on a daily basis. We are in control of that. Nothing else. Like, let's just stop with anything else, because we were never in control in the first place. But when things get challenging and that loss of control feels more poignant, I mean, it is so true. It's the sort of like, you just figure out how you can show up that day in a way that is going to give you that like work hard, be a good person spirit that is Sam, and to go.
Pivot. That's all I do is pivot.
I mean, but isn't that like just the beauty of like being an entrepreneur, the beauty of being in the food world? Maybe it's the beauty of getting through life. I don't know. I only know it through the lens of what I do or what I hear from you, which is like so similar, and like that's just what you do.
I think you have to pivot to get through the food world. There's no other way.
Yeah.
It's just, there's absolutely no way to survive unless you can adjust on the fly.
Yeah. Ugh, I love it. Okay. So my favorite thing also, Bake Club, is that we have not attempted to put rice as an ingredient on the Bake Club like hotline since the beginning of Bake Club, because I like rice. Actually, I love rice, but I grew up in like a household where minute rice was a thing, and I was just like, I can't show up for rice in the way that I know someone else can. And I love that we're going to learn so many things from you, but that you're going to teach us a pretty incredible recipe that has rice as an ingredient. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, Sri Lanka's got like over 40 different kinds of rice independent on the island. So rice
40 different kinds of rice?
More than that. It's like, I don't know the exact number. I know it's over 40 for sure. But do
they all have like short, medium, long? Do they have their own sort of like personality, flavor, texture?
Right. Yeah, they have different textures. Some of them are nuttier than others. Some have like a reddish husk to them. So it's like better for if you're on a low glycemic diet. It's crazy. And then like the super short grain rice, they put into these banana leaf packets called lump rice, and they cook it with broth, and it's amazing.
So when I cooked my like hilarious little Carolina rice or jasmine rice or whatever it is, I'm like barely scratching the surface of the beauty and wonder of rice through your lens.
There are so many kinds of rice. It's amazing.
Oh my God. Okay, Sam, I have a habit of talking before we actually start doing anything, and I'm trying to break that habit. Mostly because I know I could talk to you basically through anything at this point. So without further ado, Sam, what are you going to teach us today?
We're going to make what's called imbul kiribat. It is a coconut milk rice that is stuffed with stuff. So I figure that since it's Bake Club, you've got to have a sweet. But I'm also a very, you know, I love a salty situation, so I got a savory as well. So we're going to make
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're going savory and we're going sweet kiribat, which is sort of maybe like if we had to like relate it back to something that my minute rice moment of upbringing is. It's like, would you say it's like a rice pudding but thicker?
Make your minute rice sinful.
And delicious.
Make it sinful and delicious. Make it so it's just like this beautiful block of like velvety texture and flavor and a little bit of salt and a sweetness and that wonder.
And that's where you're taking us. That's where you're taking us today.
I know.
I love it. What's the story behind it? Like why of all the things that you could teach us, why kiribat?
1 second. I got a puppy who wants to come up and see.
Oh my gosh.
She's like drinking water, so I can't pay attention to it. So for kiribat, in Sri Lanka, traditionally, it's like a celebratory dish. So you'll have it on Sunday morning. You'll have it the first time you move into a house. You'll have it on your birthday. You'll have it on your anniversary, all that stuff. But for me, when my mom makes kiribat, it's usually because she absolutely adores my husband. And so...
like he's done something nice for her and she's like...
Well, he's just a really nice guy. And so when he goes and like does all these family things, like I married a white dude, but he's a better Sri Lankan than I am half the time because the family is just like, oh my gosh, he's so pleasant. He's so nice. And he eats everything because that's the measure of success in a Sri Lankan household is how much can you eat without looking like you're, you know, eating.
Oh, that's it. You're like, it's strategy, really. It's not about, you can't actually pack it all in because you'll never be able to eat enough to like appease the matriarchs and patriarchs.
He figured this out. Like the first time he went, he had like a plate this big that was like piled high, and he's like, "Look at how much I eat." And these aunties are walking up behind him. And they're like, "Do we need to go make you a sandwich?" And I was like, "He just ate like 6 days worth of food. What are you talking about?"
Sam, is he okay? Is he okay?
He only had 1 plate. He must be hungry. Meanwhile, he's eating enough for like a linebacker.
Oh my God. This is amazing and makes me, I mean, he's just so endeared to it all.
He loves it. Because it's like, it's the best breakfast because Sri Lankans have spicy breakfast. So if I'm going to celebrate, I kind of want spicy breakfast.
Like rich spicy breakfast from what I understand. Oh my God.
It makes all the, you know, less fancy taste fancier.
Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so it starts with rice. What would you recommend? Like short grain, medium grain, long grain?
So typically it's done with basmati, but I like, since we're gonna roll them up, I like the softer texture of jasmine because it just behaves a little bit better when you're rolling up. I make little like rice balls of them and they look really cute and you can throw them in your lunchbox and like that's how people use leftovers. This is like, Sri Lanka's a very no waste culture. Like they use every little bit. So
would it be normal to like take a snack on the go in Sri Lankan culture? Like, is it a grab and go?
Based on snacks.
Love this. Well, I also love like, I mean, so much, you have so much spirit, but what I love about like, if we just focus on your approach to cooking where you are right now, it is taking your heritage, and I like want to talk about your mom and all of the amazing, wonderful things about her, but like you have this beautiful way of meshing like where you came from and where you are now, and in how you choose your ingredients and how you bring all the things that are true to you to a pot or a plate or a snack or a bite or whatever it is. I think
it makes it sound like so elaborately well thought out. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, that would be good.
Well, that's how most ideas like develop, no? It's like there just has to be an innocent, like, it would be really good. Or like, it's like that moment when you stand in front of the fridge and you're like, I'm hungry, maybe I'll have that and that.
Yep, exactly. It's the choose your own adventure of food. Like you can have a whole plate of all these different curries and sweets and like all these different flavors, and you can pull them in with your rice and make the perfect bite.
Oh my God.
What can you do that with consistently in any other cuisine?
It's so true. I'm thinking like I'm sitting here trying to think about it. And the versatility of it can go sweet, it can go savory, it can go spicy, it can hold all of these different like day part, night personalities, flavor profiles.
Especially in fine dining and other cuisines, you have someone else composing your bite for you. I don't want to have that pressure.
Well, that's the beauty of the snack grazer, right? It's like you're always going around to like make your own perfect bite based on what's at like arm's reach.
I'm just like, okay, I like this. We're just going to make this work. And I'll test it until it works.
And is that how so you also, by the way, Bake Club, Sam has some of the most incredible recipes available through all different types of online publications and in-print publications. She recipe develops for a wide range of, I don't even know what we call them, food organizations. She basically gets the dream life of getting to have a great idea, getting someone to be like, that sounds like a great idea, Sam. Can you please give us that recipe? And she gets to like go up into her own brain and imagination and develop it down and then share it with the world. Yeah, I know it's less glamorous than that, but is that glamorous?
You get to go to your own brain and imagination. I'm like, oh crap, they really like that idea. Like, I guess I need to learn how.
That is a scary place.
My mentality on cooking is like a high school with senioritis sometimes. Like it's just like, I'm like, well, this sounds good. I mean, that'll sound good on the paper. And then
like, I know I can make it tasty. So for those that can't, because Tuk her like pop-up snack shop, I'm calling it a shop. I don't know that you call it a shop. Snack Palace. Is not Palace?
Come up for the word for this. I believe in us.
Snack park, snack playground.
Snack situation?
Snack situation. It's a situation. Right now, she's spending most of her time, all of her time on the Lee Initiative, caring for 4 incredible dogs, 3 of which might be barreling in the door any time, and developing recipes to share with the world. By the way, just like do me a favor, just Google Sam Ford tomato pie. I dare you. You're welcome. Teach me. How do we do this? Give me the lowdown. I have some crazy stuff. Not really, but I'm ready. Sam, tell me.
You have rice on your stove, right?
I have rice. I cooked 2 cups of rice to 3 cups of water. Brought it to a boil, let it simmer for 15 minutes, and it's probably been up there for 10, so it's ready for a fluff.
All right, let's take a look, because that's about where mine's at. Bring mine over. Oh yeah, that looks good.
Woo! It's looking good.
So you've got your coconut milk handy, right?
I got a can of coconut milk. It's unsweetened.
Perfect.
Hold on. I need this. Can opener. So it's just unsweetened coconut milk. Just a straight up a can of it for 2 cups of rice to 3 cups of water.
Well, I do it by feel. That's like the most infuriating thing about how I cook is that like okay. So far I've poured in about half a cup.
Okay.
And so you can see how it kind of like there we go. You can see how it kind of congeals up top.
Yes.
And I'm gonna mix that up. I'm also gonna mix that.
Sort of like half of the fat from the top and half of the liquid from the bottom.
So when I cook it, I keep this by the stove because coconut milk will melt around like 78 degrees.
Totally.
Yeah. So it'll become a little bit more uniform. So this is like, this means that it needs more. Like, see how easily it's moving?
Got it.
So
it's still a little too stiff. So we're looking for this coconut milk to sort of coat the grains without being soupy.
Exactly. because once it cools down to about 70-ish degrees, it will hold better. So now that this is going to sit here for about 15-20 minutes, we can make our filling, because if you can see mine, you see how if I like just push it, it just
yeah.
And so you want it to kind of go into its own little layer situation. And then this
mine's a little too firm. Like when I drag mine,
taste it for salt, because it might need a little salt.
Mine definitely will. Oh my God, I love this. Okay, so it is rice and water,
and salt,
and fluffed up, some salt, some coconut milk, and it depends because every kitchen has a different humidity. The rice, if it's short, if it's long, whatever it is
you gonna have. You can do this with any kind of rice.
You could do this with like leftover rice from the night before, from takeout, whatever it is.
If you do it with leftover rice, make sure that you heat your coconut milk, because that'll give it a chance to absorb into the exterior of the grain.
Got it.
I like how I make it sound sciencey, where I'm just like, it just works. Is it good?
Oh, it's already so rich and tasty. My hardest time, I think, is not pouring the whole can of coconut milk in, because I'm just like, more richness, more coconut milk. Okay.
Soupy, and you can't mold it.
I got it. We don't want it droopy soupy. It's not, the rice will cool down and sort of firm up, but it won't thicken that much, so don't be a loony about it.
Have you ever had to use a hammer on Bake Club?
Okay, Sam, I just want to tell you, I have not had to use a hammer, but I found this.
Ooh! You're going to use that, I hope.
I was thinking to myself, I wonder what's going to happen when I crack into a coconut with Sam and then have to call 911 right after, because I'm the clumsiest human I know. Oh wait, maybe I should do a ham. Okay, hold on. Let me grab
my mother uses a hatchet, and it scares me half to death.
Okay. Fresh coconut, I imagine, is your preference. We're trying to get the meat or the water out of this baby?
The meat. So I'm just gonna let it drain into this as I.
Okay, you show me first.
All right, so down the center, one hit.
What? Huh. Okay. Oh, whoa. Hold on, let me get my stuff together. What?
Now that the coconut has ricocheted across the...
Your babe's got it. She's picking it up.
Use the back.
Good idea or a bad idea?
Use the back of it. You'll be fine. Now we're rotating. There you go. There you go. There you go. You're doing it. You're doing it. Is it cracking?
I'm doing it straight.
So for the record, you can also buy frozen coconut at any Indian store if you need.
You're like, if Christina's scaring you like she's scaring me. Oh, I see it cracking. Okay. I'm feeling good. Oh, it's happening. It's happening, Sam.
I believe in us.
Wait, this happened. Is that good or bad?
Oh, let me see that. Bring that closer to the camera.
Ooh. It looks like an egg. I'll do another one.
Yeah, I would do another one. Smell that. See if that smells right.
Probably if it's questionable. If it's questionable, let's do it again. Okay, have another one.
All right, I believe in us. We can do this. Rinsing out all the stuff. So you know, like how the good coconut is supposed to sound when you get it, right? Oh.
When you're like, you were scared 5 seconds ago, and now you are clobbering it. Like,
yeah, I'm just very glad that you're not using the sharp end. Look at this perfect!
That was my first. That You're a good coach. You're a good coach.
If you shake the coconut, you should be able to hear some water.
Yeah.
You pick a good one.
Oh my God. Okay. We're going to harvest.
You know, that's part of cracking the own coconut, right?
What's that? Oh, you get to eat it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, come on. That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, how do you buy a coconut? Like, what's the best? Like, is it melon tactic?
So I make sure that there's no rotting on like the little bowling ball situation on top.
Okay, in the bowling ball situation. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so you make sure that they're not like super wet or moldy or anything. And then I listen to them. So it sounds like watery.
Got it.
So the more that's in there, the better, because you don't want it to be dried out.
Got it. Once it starts to dry out, it starts to spoil.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Okay.
And a lot of grocery stores don't really know, like, with the coconuts that they put out, if they're good or not, because people don't know how to pick a coconut.
Yeah, and who knows what you're doing with them, but.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, my awesome little Indian market that they're like amazing. So if I send the husband and he's not confident about it, they'll help him. Always ask.
You're like, honey, just ask. It's fine. They got you.
So did you get your medieval torture device yet?
Okay, I got my medieval torture device on Amazon for $20. It came the next day.
Sri Lanka. I have the same one.
This is brilliant. So it's a domestic coconut grater.
Mm-hmm.
Or mine says domestic industrial coconut grater.
Oh, it's industrial looking.
Okay, oh my God, hold on, because the photo on the outside of the box is pretty hilarious. Y'all, just Bake Club, don't freak out.
They're so
But in case you thought hammering the coconut was insane. Y'all see that? This is great.
Coconut since I was little.
You're like, this is it. It just is what it is.
Everything's fine. Cuts add character.
What else does it help grate? Can you use it to grate things other than coconut?
You know, I've been curious to try it with a butternut squash.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's like a butternut squash snow situation and like steep it in coconut and.
Oh, that's brilliant. So this baby attaches to the side of your counter like a meat grinder, right?
And while we set that up, I actually realized that we should probably throw some of those caramelized onions on before we start.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, got it. So talk to me. I have red onions. Why red onions? Or will any onion do?
Any onion will do. For this one, I like using red onions because A, the color is a little bit easier, especially given that we have such a short time. 90% of the time, make the simi sambal with tamarind onions. I let them go for about 45 minutes to an hour. So they're like grossly student caramelized. Like I love them because they're just wonderful. So
I love caramelized onions, especially red onions, are some of my favorite things in the world. I keep like a pint of these red onions that I call sweet and sour red onions. I like caramelize them down with sugar and a little. Okay, so we're gonna caramelize red onion. How big? How small do you cut your onion? Are we like dicing? Are we? I got it. So like halved and then just down on the bias. Like this.
I'm not very fancy when I cook. That's fine. Yeah. So when we do stuff and like with the tourism board here, they'll bring like writers to my house and occasionally they'll bring another chef with them. And my knife skills are so bad that I think it gives like actual, chefs an aneurysm. So I kind of feel a vein popping out of his head and like pursing his lips. So I'm not very.
Knife skills are really just as long as you don't cut your finger off, you've got great knife skills. Like that's always my MO. So what do you think? Like a little bit of oil in the pan and just sweat them on.
Skillet going, actually. I'm going to take you over there for a second.
Okay, great.
So I got a little cast iron skillet going with some fun stuff. I'll put this over here. Oh my gosh, you're not going to whine.
I hear her. She wants to be the center of attention.
There you go. All right. So I've got this going on like medium-ish heat, I think.
Okay. Me ditto.
Here. Come here. you're fine. Everything's fine. See, we're cooking. All right.
And that's not it, right? It's red onions, and then there's a little bit of superpower to it.
Tamarind paste, the best stuff ever. Tamarind is great.
You can get it in, it looks like this in the grocery store. Well, the container looks like this, but that's actually what tamarind looks like. How hard is it to cultivate, like to pull the paste out of the tamarind seeds themselves?
The task. It's very sticky and kind of uncomfortable.
Would you recommend it or no? Like, get this. Don't be crazy. Crack your own coconut, but buy the
tamarind. Because if you get, especially if you get the dried blocks of it, you've got to put boiling water in there and then squeeze it. With the coconut itself, like after you grind it, you can add water and like get coconut milk and coconut oil, and then use the husk for. It's like a whole situation, but
it's a whole situation.
But so I've got this, and it's kind of shimmering right now. Yeah, we got it. And so if you have curry leaves, you can add them here. But I figured that most people don't have curry leaves.
What do curry leaves look like? Do you have them?
No, I do. I think I do.
You probably have them on fridge. Got it.
Yeah, so I'll put a couple
of that. Give us a little bit of heat, a little bit of edge.
It gives it a little earthiness, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I'm going to throw this in with it. You don't have to do that. And I throw my chili peppers in before my onions.
Your chili peppers before your onions. Your flakes. How much chili and how much... Oh, you put your chili into your hot pan before your onions.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
And that's also how you can check and see if your pan's hot enough. Because see, it should be like the curry leaves should be turning. Well, that can't see. See how bright that green is?
Yeah.
That's how bright they should be turning once they hit the oil. Okay, I'll give it a try.
Got it. So hot pan, curry leaves if you have them, chili flakes otherwise. And it's about a teaspoon of chili flakes. There she goes. Got it. And are those curry leaves, do you use them similar to how someone might use a bay leaf if they use a bay leaf?
I think bay leaves end up getting used more in like stewing application. This, I cook it first.
So, I see.
Yeah. And I take my tamarind concentrate over there.
Okay, I'm here. I'm with you.
Believe in us. We've got this, right? I hope.
We got this, girl.
All right. You missed the puppy cameo. Everything's fine.
Yay.
So I got like a little bubbling going on around these chili flakes. So that's when I add my onions in. So, but you see, the chili oil will give it a little bit of color on its own.
Got it. And we're looking for color on these onions, Mama?
Just a bit. Because once it gets to the point where they're getting kind of translucent, we're going to add the tamarind, and we're just going to let it cook while we do the other stuff.
I see. And do you salt during or at the end?
I salt throughout, actually.
Got it.
And I move my salt over here, so I need to go get it. The salt will actually help it brown a bit faster, too.
Got it. Okay, so a little salt at a time.
I'm using diamond because it's delightful.
Got it. Okay. This is what my pan looks like so far. I got a little bit more color on mine, but I think it's going to be okay.
Everything's going to be fine. I promise.
Everything's going to be fine because Sam told us so.
Everything's going to.
I love it. So where did this recipe come from, Sam?
It's so traditional. And sambals are traditionally a condiment in Sri Lanka. So you can get like jars of it. I don't know if I have any jars of it, but they'll sell, it's almost like the chili crisp situation, but it's different kinds of like a pole sambal has coconut and lime and chili. Sini sambal has a little bit of sugar, but I like the sweetness of the onions for it and some sourness out of the tamarind. And then, katta sambal is super hot. It's got onions and chili peppers and it's all mashed together. So we kind of like to have condiments with everything. And so Sini sambal has been
pretty much present at every sort of gathering because everyone loves it. It's just sweet onion spicy.
What's not to love?
Come here.
There she is.
Everything's fine.
Oh my gosh, hold on, look, it's Butter. Oh wait, maybe Butter. Here she goes. While we wait for the onions. Girls.
Is it but oh my gosh.
Each other.
She's just like, what are you doing? You're cooking
Butter,
onions.
tell Aunt Sammy. Say your onions smell so good. I can't wait for this summer.
Why aren't you cooking steak?
Yeah, hello, where's my bone? You gonna pretend like someone's outside? No? You see what else? Look at her. She's like, I haven't been paid to be on set yet. Look at her. Okay,
long dancer's legs going.
I know that she's like a little prank. She is like a little reindeer. Oh my gosh.
So see this color that's happening right now? How it's getting just slightly translucent?
Yeah.
I'm gonna drizzle some of the tamarind paste on there. Not a ton, but just enough.
Got it.
Probably about a teaspoon and a half or so.
Okay.
You see.
So a little salt. You start with the tamarind.
And then I'm gonna stir it up. And you'll see more color this way.
Got it. Yeah. Ah! Don't worry.
Did you drop your phone in the onions?
Yeah, don't worry.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine, Sam. Don't worry about it.
I'm going to salt it just a little bit more. I'm going to drop the heat down to low. And I'm just going to leave these here while we're working on the other stuff.
Got it. So we're going to get spicy. We're going to get sweet. We're going to get caramelized vibes. And we're to a point where we can set it on low. And yeah, I can totally see the texture of these onions. They still have some juice in them, but that tamarind is really helping bring it out, as is the salt.
I just tasted for salt, and I think mine needs a little bit more.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. I put a little bit of it on my finger, and then just really the most professional way to taste things.
Got it. I love it. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna set this on low.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, here we go. This is so fun. I love multitasking in the kitchen.
People are like, why are you doing all of this in 2 hours? It's like, because everything don't go at the same time.
Yeah, also because when I'm trying to get a snack, snacks shouldn't take longer than that. Don't get it twisted.
I'm all about that snack life.
Yeah. All about that snack life. Okay, I got my coconut. You got your coconut. Where are we going?
Everything's good. Got that?
Okay, I just twist this little torture thing on.
Yeah, you might want to put like a paper towel around it so you know you have hands after this. Oh no, you're good. You got this.
Okay, she's in. This is amazing.
It really does look like a medieval torture device. Come here.
She's in. Okay.
Coconut half.
Coconut half.
And rotate it so you don't end up getting the actual.
It's amazing. This is on in full.
Be excited about this like the first dozen times, and then you'll be like, husband.
Oh my God, this is so cool. It's kind of like shave ice, but a little different.
So after we get a little bit in the bowl, I'm going to make you try some and just see how much it changes from that first bite of coconut that you had.
Holy smokes. So this is basically like desiccated coconut. This is what desiccated coconut is, but before it's dried out.
Yeah, so if you have desiccated coconut, you can add some coconut milk to it and rehydrate it, but you should try just a little bit of this.
What about this kind of this kind of baker's coconut situation?
Just add some coconut milk, let it hydrate for a little bit, because I realize that not everyone's going to go out and buy a fresh coconut. But like,
I mean, you're missing out. This is incredible. So you learned to cook from your mom, right?
For the most part, I kind of followed her around with a camera for the first year because she didn't think that I was into it. And then
because you didn't like set out in like, you didn't like leave home going like, this is what I'm going to do for a living.
Oh Lord, no. I mean, all of this is like the happiest, most fun accident I've ever made.
Wait, okay, what did you think you were going to be when you grew up?
Oh, God. Well, at first I was going to be a doctor. And then I was...
Wait, by your choice or by your parents' choice?
Oh, my parents. I thought I could do it. I was like all jazzed about it. And then I did like a summer where I was helping in like a phlebotomy lab. And somebody came in that was not in good condition and it really freaked me out. I was like, okay, I can't do this.
It's not for Sam.
And there was the second moment was when I was in like a sort of accelerated program when I lived in Boston the first year. And the entire course that was like special that we all had to be at was a professor who was just making us look at bat bits, if you will. And so I was just like, this is just strange. I don't understand what this has to do with medicine, with us looking at like 75 pictures of bats in compromised positions.
Got it. You're like, also does not bring me joy. Does it bring you joy? No, it does not bring me joy.
So I changed majors a bunch, ended up at Emerson, went into marketing.
Oh, really? Marketing?
Mm-hmm.
What did you like work on accounts?
Yeah, I wanted to be a consumer behaviorist, actually. Isn't it?
Wait, tell me why, because you like to know how people's like brains work, or
like they had all these eye tracking studies from when people went to department stores and stuff. So I'd see which way they'd look, what colors they would prefer, and so I was like, why is it this easy to figure out? Like,
that's so interesting.
Crazy. So there's so much like psychological and sociological factors that go into purchasing decisions. But I ended up going back to grad school and graduating at the height of the recession, so I could not get a job to save my life.
Blessing in disguise, maybe.
So I started making websites, even though I didn't really know how to make great websites.
Oh yeah, also Bake Club, don't worry about it. Sam also makes websites. It's a thing.
Just one more. But I don't know, do you know Jamie Bissonette and Ken Oringer in Boston?
Yes, yeah.
They were my first clients.
I love that. And so did you just say, are you did you teach yourself how to make websites, or?
Yeah, it helps that my husband's like a legit computer science engineer.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I didn't know what I was doing, so when I couldn't figure it out, I'd be like, honey.
But that makes sense. I get the throughput of marketing into maker of websites. I also love that you refuse to accept titles beyond ones that you can giggle while saying. Website maker.
Site maker.
That's so cool. So was that moment spending time with Ken and Jamie, like, did that really, like, was there something there about industry?
At first, it scared the crap out of me because they had it was right when Copa was open. And so that was the hottest restaurant in town. And so they had this article in the newspaper about how they hated their website. And I was just like, I can make a website. I went in, I underbid, and I thought I was playing hardball by being like, and I want dinner too. 10 years later, I mean, we're still working together. So.
I love, they're also just two very, very, very quality humans.
Well, and then Jamie introduced me to Edward Lee, and Edward kind of got everyone in Kentucky taking me remotely seriously. Step out of the tent and do a pop-up in 610 Magnolia. So it all just kind of snowballed from there.
It just came together in that beautiful, kind of infinite game of, you might not know what the plan is, but there's a plan, just keep showing up.
It's just, I just started focusing on A, having a decent time when I'm out and about, and B, being nice to people. And if it's gotten me this far, I have no complaints.
But I get the sense that there's also, for you, there have been moments in your life of am I being true to myself? Is this true?
Absolutely. But I think that's also part of the diaspora experience. I'm a first generation American. My parents came here in the 70s. A lot of our identity is tied up in when we're kids and when you don't really know how it works, it's weird.
That's interesting.
There's a lot of identity that happens, especially, and I think we're seeing a lot of it now, especially with what's been happening with publications and payments and you know, minorities actually having the ability and the wherewithal to speak up. But the experience of growing up as a first generation immigrant, different religion, different everything like that, is just wild. Like, everyone's just like, oh, well, I didn't have that experience. I'm like, I think I'm like 20 years older than you, so you might not have had that experience because of people like me. So
got it. Just hard stuff. And what were your parents like as you were sort of deciding what you wanted your own life to be? Were they open-minded? Did they have an idea of what, like, was there pressure?
You're doing what? It was a you're doing what moment, and then eventually it made sense. Like, my dad has a low-key, like, total appreciation for Rachel Ray. So he'll call me up and he'll be like, honey, Rachel Ray has a magazine. I have to go. Bye. And I'm like, so that's how, like, it's actually like most South Asian parents don't have a frame of reference for the culinary world, but
got it.
And my mom gets super psyched because my mom, like, she'll watch Chopped and stuff like that. And then I cook with Maneet with Brown in the South. So when she met Maneet, she was just like, oh.
I know Maneet, she's the judge on Chopped.
Exactly. And so she'll be like, oh my gosh, Maneet looked great today. I'm like, okay.
You're like, thanks, Mom. But that's, I think parents, watching parents find their way into supporting their children.
I'm luckier than most. I'll put it that way, because it's, you know, 90% of the time you have 4 options for a career, and my parents are just like, okay, just be a decent human being and then we'll figure out the rest.
Huh.
So you got about a cup's worth of coconut over there?
I do.
All right, I've got some jaggery sugar because I found it. In Sri Lanka, they usually do this with something called kiri penny.
Got it.
It's very similar to sorghum, but it has this sort of brown sugary quality. I get it sometimes in these pouches. I call it kiri.
Oh.
And it's like this beautiful, smoky, syrupy situation.
Wow. So we're going to use that on the sweet side of kiri bak, but if we don't have access to that, I imagine like
brown sugar.
Such a brilliant brown sugar. Dark brown molasses?
I would use dark brown and molasses. I think they work better.
Got it. Like, gotta go deep.
And then I can stir my onions while I'm over here. They're getting some color.
Got it. Okay, so it's a new saucepan day.
New saucepan day.
Okay.
Oh, did you get a fancy cookie? Ooh, we got some cast iron going.
I know. Well, once you started your cast iron, I was like, I'm cooking with someone in Lexington, Kentucky, and used a saucepan when I could do a cast iron. So I was like, never again, Christina.
Well, I mean, like, I have options.
Yeah.
I also have a really big problem with, like, the enameled cast irons.
Oh my gosh, that's an amazing.
90% of it is secondhand. So it's just like, my husband's like, did you really need more? I was like, well, I didn't have that one.
You're living a life that I would like.
You can do that. I mean, it was like half an hour into our first chat, we're like, okay, when are you coming to visit?
Yeah. Hi, I spend the night tonight.
That's sweet.
Okay, so we need 1 cup of shredded coconut, whether you shredded it yourself, whether you went like sweetened coconut with a little coconut milk or desiccated.
If you're using fresh, you don't have to use coconut milk with it that much. You use a lot less liquid because it's still, so if you like squeeze coconut milk, you can see that the milk, like this is thick coconut milk that's coming out right now.
Yeah, totally.
It's also really satisfying.
It looks like, like you're wringing something magical. Okay, so it is a cup of the grated coconut. How much of the coconut sugar or dark brown sugar molasses situation should we go?
About like a quarter of a cup. So it's like a 4-to-1 sort of ratio. Or ratio.
Got it, by volume.
All right, and then once you'll throw the stove on medium. Oops, on here.
And we're just bringing this together?
Yep.
I'm so jazzed for this. I can't even really explain how like hungry and excited I am. Okay.
Add a pinch of salt too, just to bring out all the pretty stuff.
Got it.
Everything is better with a pinch of salt.
Everything's better with a pinch of salt. So this is what we have.
That sugar will melt into your coconut pretty quickly.
Got it. And are we just bringing this up to get the sugars to dissolve and everyone to be friends?
Exactly. We just want them to be able to hang out at summer camp for a couple weeks without fighting.
Got it.
I mean, they don't have to get married. They don't have to have a long-term relationship planned out. They don't need to have out, nothing like that.
And is this considered a sambal? Like, is this a sort of like sauce condiment that you keep?
More savory. This is more of a filling. So you can find stuffed crepes with these. They'll stuff the coconut milk rice with these. They'll wrap hoppers around them. Like pani pol is so much fun because it's just legit pani, and then pol translated is coconut and sinhalese. So it's just syrup coconut.
Got it. Do you go home to, like, you still have family in Sri Lanka? Are your folks and siblings and stuff still there?
The majority of my extended family is there. But I haven't been back because I was supposed to go back last year and then all the Easter stuff happened.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted to wait, and then I wanted to go back this year, and I'm not allowed to go back. So
wait, what do you mean not allowed to go back? Not allowed to go across the border?
They won't let you in if you're coming from the States without keeping you in quarantine somewhere off-site for 2 weeks.
Got it.
Because our corona response hasn't been the most amazing.
Got it.
So, yeah. So I'm trying to go next year. I've been working on a couple projects. And I really want it to be, So you see how these like kind of come together?
Yes. Got it. Okay, I see. Mine's catching up to yours. I might have added more coconut milk than I was supposed to. But I think, you want to know what, Tim? I think it's going to be okay.
Everything's going to be fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Okay, amazing. All right, and how do we put this brilliant, sweet, and savory situation into two snacking masterpieces?
We're gonna make a snacker piece here. It's gonna be great.
A snacker piece. A snackster.
Snack. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be really good. Really good.
It's gonna be great. Let's see. All right, now you can see this situation I've got going on. So I'm sure that some people have like fancy piping bags and stuff like that. I have a plastic freezer bag that I cut.
Ditto. Okay, how big of a cut am I making?
It's a gallon bag. I just cut the sides.
Oh, I get it. You just cut it open. Could you use plastic wrap?
Yeah, but it's not thick enough sometimes.
You need sturdier. Okay, got it. I'm on it.
Okay, I'm gonna stir and pull these onions off.
Do I want it to be longer or wider?
I mean, mine's a square.
Or cut it all the way. Okay, got it. Cut it one bag into two.
Yeah.
Oh, this is brilliant. I've never seen this done before.
But they use like the super thick shopping bags in the kitchens there. And I was just like, oh, that's a use for that plastic. So I keep those, and I'll disinfect them and make them handy for my little kit.
I love this. This is very like a grandma situation, the way that
I cook like somebody's grandma.
I'm very excited. Okay, talk to me. Let me plug this down a little bit more.
I'm readjusting you so you can see what I'm doing here.
Okay, perfect. I can see you.
All right, so we've got my little thingamadoo here. I'm gonna bring my sweet over because that's pretty incorporated. I'm gonna cut the heat on my onions.
Oh,
I got this guy over.
Okay.
And then I got a little rice spoon here.
And so if you notice your coconut milk rice,
Yeah,
it's solid now.
it is. It's solid and it's so tasty.
Oh, you sneaking bites without me? I see how it is. Mm-hmm.
I know. Well, I'm just taking, I'm salting the taste. Not, very innocent over here. Just salting the taste.
So do I get the shirt that said Christina snacked without me when I did Bake Club? Because
you don't want to know. I'm a very good sneak attack snacker. It's
Same.
made it up.
Uh-oh. Look.
Oh my God, are they here? They're home! Hi, puppies. Oh, look at the old one. Oh my goodness. You look so good, guys.
Oh, Baron, you look like a circus bear.
Goodness. Hello. Oh my goodness, they made it.
They don't stink.
Oh my God, I love this. Hold on. I'm like, Butter, guess what? I'm inspired. You're getting a bath later. Butter, you're up next, okay?
Sorry, Butter. I thought we were cool. I'm sure we're still cool.
I think it's going to be great for you, Butter.
Everything's going to be fine, Butter. I believe in you.
She's like, I thought we were friends, Sam.
Like, what the hell? You didn't make me steak. All right, so I made like a little patty situation that's about 4 inches wide by about, it's a hand.
Got it.
And then,
Flattened it a bit, right?
yep. And I'm gonna put some of my coconut right in the middle. And the first one always messes up, so don't feel bad.
Okay. How tight should I pack the coconut rice down?
I would pack it down so it's like a solid layer.
Okay. No, I shouldn't be able to see the plastic wrap surface or plastic bag surface underneath.
Right on. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Now we're right again. So I'm gonna wait for you to be there with me.
Okay, I'm almost there. I'm slow poking it.
You're good.
I'm slow poking it.
I'm watching dogs clean.
You are already blowing my mind in all. Oh my God. I've freaked out in my head 6 times. I'm like, I'm not eating anything else. This is the only thing I'm the rest of my life.
Wait, when you come to visit, we're going to have like an epic Sri Lankan dinner.
Oh my God.
I'm going to teach you how to make like the fermented rice flour pancakes.
Oh, yes, please.
So squeeze a little bit of the liquid out of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
there you go. You're good. You're good.
You see that okay?
Yeah. So what I do is I bring these sides up. And then I bring these sides up.
Okay, hold on. I'm coming. I'm trying to sneak a little bit more of my sweet coconut situation in because,
So I basically fold up all the sides so they become like a little package.
Okay, got it.
And then you're gonna pull down to the bottom and then you're just gonna twist it.
Got it. Tight.
Tight. Because then you get this adorable little ball.
Oh my God.
Hey babe, come here for a second. You want a bite?
Mine's a little, I went a little big.
Hey, it's your adventure. Nobody's judging here. It's a pandemic.
It is so good.
Here.
So will you just pack this in Hub's lunch for work?
Oh, Hubs works from home.
Oh, wait.
No.
Oh my God.
Hang on, let's see. Does he like it?
Oh my God. It's so good.
So now we have like the savory one to do though.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm paying attention. Do you always eat this hot? Would you eat it?
Eating.
I'm too busy eating. Sam, would you eat this cold or always hot?
Cold. Or hot. Doesn't matter. I just eat it.
Oh my God.
I eat it room temperature.
Bake Club. I'm not available for the rest of the day.
Can't talk eating.
Oh my balls, I'm not available. I'm very busy eating. Okay, savory.
Savory, we're gonna do the same thing. I have a fly flying around in here because I have dogs. So I'm gonna actually make the savory one a little bit bigger.
Okay.
Because it's my party.
Yeah, it is. Oh my God, Sam, this is insane.
Is the Sri Lankan food?
I've never had Sri Lankan food before.
Oh my God.
Where I grew up in like, or at least where I was a teenager in like the DMV area, really
There's
big.
a decent sized community down there now.
Say that again?
There's a decent sized community in the DMV area now.
I have to tell you, we spent a lot of time eating like pho and other like Vietnamese food as a kid. My dad was always obsessed with this Korean market near my house, so our house always smelled like kimchi because he just loved the fermented cabbage. Yeah, but like I'm also a little happy that I didn't discover Sri Lankan curry bath until now because something tells me it's going to be a deliciously dangerous.
When I make grits, I use the same sort of technique. So now I have coconut grits when I do shrimp and grits.
Dude, I can't.
And so you have the sweet and the spicy and everything kind of works.
I can't eat.
What are you barking about?
So what is do you like stuff with more onion? What's your approach here? Is it just personal preference?
This is personal preference. I mean, the more you stuff it, the more difficult it is to wrap up.
Oh,
I also have these like curried meatballs that I made yesterday. Sometimes I wrap a meatball in them.
Well, I was going to ask you, like, on some level, this is like, if you're going savory and it's Snack Town, like, our sort of like tamarind chili onion is delicious and insane, but I was going to be like, what else can I stuff in it?
Meatballs. And then there's this like, the traditional sambal is called a luna miris, and it's onion, red chili, lime juice, and salt, and you just mix it up until it tastes good.
My favorite part, mix it up until it tastes good. Like you tell me when it tastes good. Think about what you're making, taste it.
I'm not making it for me, I'm making it for you. So
okay.
I do the same sort of
little
bag situation. But you see how like plastic wrap wouldn't have worked for this because it just was too thin.
I do. And I also get the, like, there is such thing, like, more is not always more. Like, more from a stuffing standpoint could get you in trouble.
Always. I mean, being more stuffed always gets you in trouble. It makes you burp. So.
Thank you. Also, did I mention that Sam has basically the best sense of humor of anyone that I know? She always lets you know that everything's going to be fine. And she also lets you know that without words by just making you laugh hysterically.
I got a little situation. It looks like a bow, actually.
It really does. And I just want to say, I think I finally got the hang of it. And it only took me 2 tries. This is amazing how quickly it comes together.
You have to make sure that your coconut rice is at a cooler temperature. That's why we pulled it off early.
I see.
So, but I'm going to take like a disgustingly huge bite. Okay.
Well, I want to look at how my ratio inside went. It really is like bow situation.
Mine has lipstick on it.
Oh my God. Oh, this is insane.
So like, imagine around a curried meatball or some pork, or whenever I have leftover curries, I just do this.
This is what happens.
Do this, or I'll make kuktu, which is like chopped flatbread.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Sam, now I have number 3,675 to be madly in love / obsessed with you.
You realize that we're just going to have to road trip now, right?
I mean, it's definitely a road trip. And I just want to say the only thing I will be eating, you can eat whatever you want, is I'm just going to make myself a bunch of this kiri bath. I'm just going to have balls just along the way, hidden, sprinkled. I'll be real honest. I'm feeling selfish right this moment, but at some point, the like angel on my shoulder will chime in and be like, hey, Christina, maybe you should roll some of those kiri bath for other people. But I will be crushing.
It's your first time. Don't put that kind of pressure on yourself.
I know. And Bake Club, I just want to say, I know I try to always, like push you all to make something and bring it out and share it with the world. I just want to say no judgment if it does not happen this batch, because I can't make any promises today. But I can promise you that Sam has so many more recipes up her sleeve.
You know how to eat with your hands?
What do I know how to eat with my hands?
Like making a bowl. Like, so let's say I'm making a mess. So when you're in Sri Lanka, you eat with your hand because that's the best way to make a bite. So you pull it in, and then you shape it with your thumb. This isn't gonna work as well. And then you use your thumb to push the little ball of rice in.
Oh, the thumb is like the bulldozer.
Mm-hmm. And so if you want to mess with somebody, specifically your husband, don't tell him to use his thumb and just watch him try to figure it out.
Watch him dangle something like this in his mouth.
Yeah, my mom's like, what did you teach him? And I was like, just watch.
It'll be really funny. We'll tell him later. He's not going anywhere.
It'll be great.
Oh my gosh. Sam, thank you so much for joining us. We learned so much from you, from how to appropriately, properly eat with your hands. Remember, the thumb is the bulldozer. To how to cook with intuition, with love, with heart, unapologetically, with a brilliant sense of humor, with no rules, only what's delicious, only what's right for you, how to live life, how to show up as a good person in the world, how to work hard, how to be nice, and knowing that all of that is good enough, because everything's going to be fine.
Everything's going to be fine. We'll find a way to make it fine.
I love it. Bake Club, you better show up for my girl. You better get all over this coconut rice. You know, Sam, she's going to be taking over Tuesday. She is the most incredible follow. You got to get your hands on more of her recipes. They're all over the internet. You can Google her name.
You need dog intros, yeah? You need all dog intros.
There you go. She will be your guide in the kitchen from today on. I promise you that. She is most certainly mine. Sam, you are the best. I'm getting in my car. I'll be there in 14.5 hours.
Wait, perfect.
Rest stop for butter, but I'm just going to bring this whole pan. I'm going to roll it into my curry bath balls. I'll see you so soon.
This is the best brunch, though. I'll just make you curry bath brunch.
Oh, my God. It goes on and on. You're the greatest.
Just going to have a good time. You're stuck with me now.
I love it.
You're the greatest. Eat my messy fingers. And
then I'm eating with my thumb.